Last year I had a talk with David Cage from Quantic Dreams about games. And what he basically said is he was tired of games having guns, big guns and bigger tits. He wanted to change that. He wanted to make a good story and he wanted to make a dark movie. And now it's time for Heavy Rain and to see if he actually was able to pull it off. If I hadn't played Fahrenheit, I would probably hate the slow pacing at the beginning of the game. The first half hour feels more like playing Sims than it actually feels like playing a movie or a thriller. But it doesn't take more than about half an hour till the game shows what it's all about. It's dark characters, a serial killer and decisions. The controls take a bit getting used to. Basically, you move your character a bit like you would with a car. You speed up using the shoulder button and turn with the stick. It made me think of the old Resident Evil games, and I'm not quite sure I like that. But it didn't take long to get the hang of it, and it's quite clear to see why they went for this approach. You often have the problems with changing camera angles that you haven't really gotten any idea of where you're heading, and this sort of takes care of that. Next thing is the quick time events in the game. They luckily doesn't feel like they usually do. Usually it's about pressing a button and then waiting for a result. Instead there's so many quick presses that it feels more like counteracting in a Tekken game. It's a good way to keep the pacing up and it really works. An interesting feature is the dialogue wheel. It's not really a dialogue wheel, but if you've played Mass Effect, etc., you know about the different choices and consequences. How it works in Heavy Rain is you've got these floating symbols and you need to press the corresponding button if you want to give that answer. Whenever you get into a stressful situation, they will start bouncing around and become really blurry. And it's a good way to induce the feeling of a stressful situation. For a game with so many details and such great music, you would expect quite a lot of loading. And there is some, but it's broken up between the scenes, so it doesn't stop your game playing experience. As you might have noticed, I haven't said much about the game or the plot in the game. And it's quite simple that I would rather not spoil what is indeed a great movie. You shouldn't really get to know any details about the characters or anything before playing the game. But Heavy Rain has got a lot of really interesting characters. It's got a great plot. It's got beautiful music. The graphics is nice. And basically I would say do not miss out on Heavy Rain, but be prepared for something completely different.